I don't know if I can do this one. Woke up this morning still tired. Woke up too early, even though I got more than 6 hours for how tired I am overall. Woke up feeling suicidal. Hold on. Hi, Levi. Yeah, fuck, I'm not doing too well. I set this live stream to go in 20 minutes and spent that 20 minutes trying to fucking pull myself together just enough to do it. And I didn't quite manage. Before I saw your name there, it was just suddenly overwhelmed by all the fucking shit that comes along with the suicidal state, to the point that I could barely make sense of the fact that I was going live. I can't make sense of anyone but you, but seeing your name gave me a single thing to focus on. Oh, fuck. Hold on a second. Oh, the last time I was on here, 2 days ago or whatever, I was sharing that depression had walloped in, that there was no in between. It was just straight from summer to winter. I think I remember discussing that at a certain point of depression, you don't even want to be happy. I think I talked about just wanting to be off the fucking drug trip, to just be grounded and calm, not even happy. Suicidal feels different. I just want oblivion. I just want nothing at all. And if I hadn't experienced suicidal states worse than what they are right now, I would say that I am extremely suicidal. But I know there's more intense versions of this that I experience. So for me, I would say I am moderately suicidal, mid-level. It's not mild. But it's not at the extreme. Because in the extreme, for me, it takes effort not to kill myself. Fuck, that is one of the things I am so afraid of right now. Is that next level of this shit. Because I don't have the energy to deal with this level. I can feel it wanting to tip over. There's a much worse level where something inside me gets loose and starts trying to do it. And where I actively have to suppress the action of killing myself. Where it's right now, it's just needing to suppress planning too, like deciding to. There's a phase beyond that where part of you skips that and just wants to take over. Oh, fuck, sorry. It is taking everything I have since I woke up 4 or 5 hours ago. Not to fall into a mindset that will make things worse. Obviously, when feeling suicidal, that first mindset that I just mentioned is trying not to decide to, trying not to plan to. Then when I push back on that, it's just other avenues that would make things worse that my mind wants to go down. When I try to lock the door on the thoughts that we get to kill ourselves, then something up steps up. It says, fine, if we have to stick around, we're going to fucking blame and judge, though. Because it's not all my fault. It's so fucking hard right now. But I know that going down that path fucking makes it worse, too. It's taking everything I have to keep myself off those mindsets. It's all that stupid fucking Jesus-y shit matters. I have got to hold on to forgiving everything and loving everything and fucking accepting and realizing all I can control is myself, although I can't even fucking control that. So right now, just not making things worse is all I can do. And I can barely manage that. Fuck. And none of the real people in my life know I'm feeling like this right now. By real people, I mean people I've seen, interact with directly in the non-digital dimension. This is the fucking first I am telling anyone that I'm feeling suicidal. So the people in the real world, saw that things had gotten difficult, that I wasn't doing as great as I was before. But no one in real world knows I fucking bottomed out and don't have the energy to deal with anything. And I may not have to do anything today. But there are things coming up I have to participate in. And even if I can fucking push through this suicidal state and dial it back to depression, my energy for the year might be fucking gone already. So now I just disappoint everyone. I cannot describe how hard it was to get out of bed. To pour coffee and get water. I forced myself to take a shit and take a shower. And that was all so fucking hard. How am I going to deal with anything over the fall and winter? And suicidal states just hurt so fucking much. And nothing good even seems real from here. And all I want is oblivion so badly. Wrong before that wasn't all I did today. I did two other things. Although one's obvious. It's the stream. Sent one message today. Short. I did one practical thing just to keep from dropping every single ball. Fuck, I am so tired of crying in front of people. I need to just calm down the physical expression of what I'm feeling for a minute before I try to talk anymore. I'm going to try to read how much I will be able to respond to. I got to take a minute more before I look at that and fucking face whoever's here. I was out and doing a lot of things, Levi. For 2.5 months, I was on the manic side. I was high energy, and it was a mix of some very difficult things and some very good things. But previous to my drop back into depression, I had pushed myself quite hard for a while, and there had been a lot of good shit happening. I'm aware that's part of why the depression hits so fucking hard. There's a combination of both, like very good things going on. I know, like, you'll understand, Levi. That kind of high intensity positive, like it burns up all the fucking good emotions in you. There's just a chemical hangover after just from burning that shit up. Then there were a number of different outside circumstances that were stressful to deal with. So I was also pushing myself a lot. Stepping out of comfort zones, burning up all my daily energy, dealing with stressful things. Thanks, Andrew. Fuck, I don't know. I probably shouldn't even start by responding to the beginning of this chat, because that was a while ago. And I probably would have dropped out at that long silence. So I don't know if you're still here, Andrew or Levi. I am, yeah, since I don't know who's here, I'm not going to respond to the beginning shit. I'm just going to read it quickly to get caught up. And so if someone's still here and you wrote a question or something that you still want answered, write the question again. Because I feel like otherwise I'm going to answer old questions of people who've left and I'll ignore the people who are actually still here. Okay, somebody's saying they talked to me after I talked to Peterson. You're probably thinking of Andrew if you're still here. I took over the channel. I'm not the guy who created the channel and did the podcast with Peterson. Okay, someone said you can see the participants. There's 3 dots in the corner. This? I don't know. I see 3 dots up in the corner. They don't appear to do anything. Having trouble talking because all of that shit that was coming out before is still going on inside. I've just pushed it off the throne and I'm not letting it talk and I'm not letting it run the body. But that's taking most of my focus. That fucker's still running rampant in the throne room, and it's just kind of taking everything I can to have control over the body. All right, so I'm caught up. Maybe I should have just ended this already. Don't quarantine sections of your mind. Integrate everything. Yeah. There's times I have to quarantine sections temporarily. That's not what I am doing right now is not, because I'm also not even trying to quarantine it and lock it away. I'm not chasing it out of the throne room. I just took it off the throne. I know you can't take a piece of yourself and suppress it permanently. But I can push them off the throne, or I can quarantine them temporarily when it's required for a situation. It's what I would probably often call pulling myself together. So if I'm in a state that doesn't allow me to interact properly with a situation that presents itself, can you deal with this? Can you be with this person? There's times where I'm not in the right state to do it. I'll say is I need X amount of time to pull myself together first. Whether that's I need 10 minutes or I need a couple hours. When I say that I'm doing that, essentially what I am doing is I quarantine things and I lock them down, but it's not a permanent suppression because I let them back up and deal with them later and work on integration to the degree that I'm capable of. Overall, the system is not just wanting to demonize the suicidal part of me. The system's going to do everything it can to address the suicidal part's concerns. Yeah. Tea with Mara and inviting demons to lunch. Yeah, that's all part of my overall practice. Thanks, Willem. I will do my best to take care of myself. All that stuff talking is trauma that can be healed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware that I still have trauma from the past that needs to be healed. And I'm aware that there are situations that continue to inflict trauma on me in the present. I wish I could sit outside for this stream 2076. The reason I stopped doing streams outside was it stopped working on my computer. If my computer is not plugged in with the Ethernet cable, I can't be online. That's why I stopped doing streams outside. I will be getting a new computer soon, though. So possibly I'll be able to stream outside again in the future. I just can't right now. Gabriel, fasting doesn't work. for me the way it does for other people because I'm bipolar type 1. With my particular kind of bipolar, you have to be very careful with fasting. If I fast, I don't sleep. And it will either, in a depressed state, it can lead to just like my body just starts shutting down if I fast, and I kind of don't sleep either. And it's just the depression and everything gets worse and worse. And I feel ill. Fasting when I'm mildly depressed, in a neutral state, or manic, like launches me into all kinds of euphoric and spiritual states, but I connect to those too easily. So fasting isn't good for me, I've discovered. What's important for me is to make sure I always take in the basic, amount I need every day. I generally eat once a day, so I guess that's intermittent fasting in some people's minds. But the only times I do fast is when I'm actually attempting to increase that spiritual state, and I do it by eating less, not by not eating at all. But I do that very carefully, and I only do that when life is stable, like when there's not problems and situations, when it's okay for me to get a little too mystical for a while and need to come back down because the real world's taking care of itself. I don't know. So Austin says, is it possible to let it go completely? Transformation Mastery talks about that. I don't know if it's possible or not. I haven't found a way to do it yet. So Carlo's saying that in their experience as well, fasting isn't a good idea. Hey, nerdy bird. God bless. Lots of love, brother. Like, thanks, Juho. I don't know how to say that. I appreciate the encouragement. You, Austin, everyone writing anything positive. Nerdy bird. Yeah, I said tea with Mara. Did I get that wrong? I used the wrong name, but the idea of like misfortune. Does Mara represent like trouble and misfortune? Like your personal demons? The idea of inviting them in instead of trying to get rid of them, to invite them in. And as someone just wrote, detach from your thoughts. In my case, it worked. Yeah, that's a lot of what I spent today trying to do. There's times where I can manage it in the suicidal state, and there's times where I can't pull it off. I haven't been able to manage it today. I feel like my energy is so depleted that I can't manage the steps that I need to take to do some of these various things that have been written there or that I've discussed in the past, or the things I know I could do to make improvement on this state. I just don't have the energy. It's like having food sitting across the room and being so fucking starved and malnourished that you don't have the energy to get up and go over to eat the food. There's all kinds of psychological spiritual and mystical shit that I know would help with this. Just, just detaching. I know how to do it. I know how to step deeper and observe what is going on instead of being drowned in the fucking storm. I don't have the energy to do that. I have the energy to lock the storm back right now and not be expressing it, but it's there. And I'm not detached from it. And I'm not detached from the part of me talking and holding it back either. And I'm aware I could get above this activity in the throne room. I don't have the energy to. I don't know how much longer I have the energy to maintain this of me having control over the body. And the damaged parts of me cannot handle crying in public again. So if I start tipping over into that, I'm just going to end this stream. Possibly suddenly. Okay, I'm going to read what Sky Blue wrote. I was suicidal until I was 49 when I decided to find everything in life interesting. 99% of my thoughts were useless. Find life rather than yourself interesting. You can do this. I have thoughts that I don't have the energy to put into words in response to that. So I'm just going to let it stand on its own. But thank you, Sky. Austin says TMI mean worked. Stoicism, detaching, fasting doesn't deal with the real problem. Trauma healing is directly dealing with the shadow, self-love, and reintegration. Yes, I work on that. Carlos says most comments today in the chat are well meant but ridiculously naive. In my humble opinion, love and prayer will work better than these naive recommendations. I agree that love and prayer are a major thing, but I wouldn't call all of the other recommendations naive. And some people might write advice to me that someone who's watched me longer would think like it was stupid to give me that advice because it's a part of what I do. I've been doing for years, but people giving the advice don't know that shit. Okay, so Nerdy Bird says, yes, Mara mythology. Mara was the embodiment of illusion. He tempted Siddhartha directly after enlightenment, works like Satan and Jesus in the desert. Yeah. Okay, so I did. Yeah, I used the right, and I'm aware of that other nuance and complexity to it. I was oversimplifying, I'm sure. I don't remember what the fuck exactly I said. I don't know if everything's in order with my thyroid. Yeah, I don't think I can keep talking. And not have another outburst. I'm going to wrap this up. Very tempted to wrap this up and take it down. Is that a good idea, or is this helpful to anyone? So that's my last interaction here. Is I'd like to hear feedback onto whether this is helpful to other people who are suicidal, and so leave it up, or this is just stupid and embarrassing, take it down. So can I get a leave the video up or take the video down vote from people who are online? I'm sorry, I don't have it in me to respond to the other comments that have just come up without fucking starting to break down. So I'm just going to wait for a moment until I see what the votes are as to leave this up or take it down. Okay, I got one stay up from Bill. Sorry, Sky. I appreciate it. I just can't respond to anything else. All right, people are saying for me to leave it up, so I'm going to leave this up, but I'm going to end it now so it doesn't get any worse. I love everyone here. God bless.